And we're in game 2 again as they're blitzing through this stuff. The same thing as last game, so Port Dace and the Elysian team banning out the Moon Queen, as that was so powerful last game. And then following up the War Beast. So two strong late game carries being taken out here by the Legion side. Engineer and Wretched Hag taken out by Ganal, he does not want to face arguably the strongest support in the game. I don't think she is, I think Rhapsody is, but hey, or he. I think Rhapsody is, but hey, it's up to you. And of course, Ratchet Hag, a very strong, versatile hero. Both teams going with a jungler for their first pick. Ophelia on the Legion side, Tempest on the Hellborn side. So we are sitting in Game 3 here, of course, on the round of 32 Ultimate Series Solstice tournament. Both sides at one game apiece. TZP taking Game 2 after a dominant Moon Queen Tempest performance. And the first game going to the Legion side in MiM. As I don't even remember what they played now. Maybe if I just sit here and stare at the computer long enough, it'll come to me. But again, I can't remember anything about anything ever, so not that surprising that I just totally missed this. Anyway, Lee's going to follow that up with a Bubbles. Hellborn select Pestilence as their second pick. So Hellborn last game, or MIM I suppose is a better way to put it, going the Ophelia Bubbles before, not winning with it, and doing it once again, feeling like Moon Queen was really the problem. And same thing on TZP, going the Tempest Pestilence, two of their first three picks in the last game. And two heroes that did very well for them. So we'll see what each side has to switch it up this time as the TZP crowd try to go for their win and seal off the series. And the MIM team wants to bounce back in Game 3 and take it themselves, torture their third pick. So filling support option there. They've got a support, they got a jungler, and they've probably got a suicide here, as that's what they ran Bubbles as last game. Could also be a mid, very reasonably, and potentially a short lane, although I don't like that. So presumably looking for a mid hero or a suicide, most likely a mid, but could also be a suicide, as well as a short lane carry. Last game, of course, they went with that Chronos, who did fairly well, just not good enough to sustain against the Legion stuns, and the amount of damage coming out from Moon Queen is just, it's so damn hard to deal with that hero. Once she gets even sort of farmed, it's like, GG's. So.
Rhapsody.
It's doing all apparently. Thanks to him, Carapagne, that stupid fuck hero. Yeah, I can't. Moon Queen is so annoying to deal with. It's such a big problem. And the issue is mainly that even if you shut her down early, like, you have to win early too. You can't just be like, oh, we killed her 6 times in the first 20 minutes, so that's game, we're going to win because she's never going to... No, she recovers so well. Like, all she needs is some semblance of levels and farm, and she will just go through the jungle and the Ancients and destroy them all, come out with a Shrunken Head, a Geometer's Bane, and a Symbol of Rage, and kill your entire team. Like, that's just what she does. So, it's extremely frustrating, because you basically have to say, look, we're going to win this game in 30 minutes. Because if we don't take that, or less, then we're going to lose, because it's just we're going to get Moon Queened. Regardless, last pick for the Hellborn is Rhapsody, so both sides picking up their support, as well as their jungler in the first 3 picks. Hellborn perhaps looking for a suicide and a short laner. Legion looking for a suicide and a mid laner, or sorry, a short laner and a mid laner. So carries will be the name of the game for both these teams. Unless the Hellborn choose to run the Pestilence short lane, which I'm not really big a fan of, but it is possible. Two bans from either side now, Keep of the Forest and Mage Bane taken out by Legion. We almost never see Mage Bane, so a little interesting that he'd choose to ban that, as well as Flux. Flux, pretty strong mid, and I guess I think he might be running Pesty short. I don't think that Flux fits this team too well, but certainly a possibility. Keeper does fit the team well in a suicide capacity. Of course, Tempest Keeper, a very popular combination, just so much push. That would basically be a situation where TZP would hit level 6 or so, and then just take down every tower in the game. Because Dance Floor plus both minions from Tempest and Keeper, Legion could do nothing. Nothing against that. And they would be very upset. They banned Oogie. Sandwraith Doctor getting banned out by the Hellborn side, as I think they're leaning towards a pesty short laner here. As well as Oogie, which would have been hilarious, because we never ever get to see Oogie. Everybody's like, oh god, he's so broken, and then people just pick Mage Bane, and then he dies. all of him dies against Mage Bane. It's just hard countered so badly. So that might be why Legion banned out the Mage Bane, is they were anticipating an Oogie pick, and Hellborn realized that. They're like, oh, trying to get rid of that hero because otherwise it'll get picked up. And if there is no Mage Bane, Oogie can wreck teams. Like, that's one of the few heroes that can legitimately go 1v5 and win. Like, without having just a ridiculous amount of an advantage in terms of resources. Like, a legitimately farmed opposing team will get annihilated by a solo Oogie with the right plays if he's fairly well farmed. It's kind of insane. Just because he gets all his health and mana back by continuously attacking and casting, so he just never dies. And then I put an icon on him, it's like, what the fuck am I supposed to do about this? But the last two picks here on Legion are Kraken and Dark Lady, so addressing their mid and short lane needs. Bubbles will definitely be Suicide now. With Ophelia in the jungle, I suspect we'll see Torture or Babies with that TDL bot. I think that's the correct decision. But they could certainly put her mid as well. Or him, it, Torture, whatever, mid. I don't really like that. I wouldn't like that so much, but it is a possibility. I think Kraken really likes the levels of being a solo laner, and he's defensive enough with the tankiness and the charge to get away with it. Hellborn picking up Grinix for their Suicide lane, so we'll see if they go for a short laner or a mid laner here. I prefer the short laner. They have options. Drunken Master being soft picked. I like that idea. Gemini still available, as well as Corrupted Disciple. I think I'd go Corrupted here just because his D-Armor and Pesties would combine pretty well. Rhapsody stuns, Grinix stuns, Tempest lockdown would provide lots of opportunity for him to die. But Gemini is going to be the pick, and I can never argue against Gemini pick. I think I'm... As bad as Moon Queen is, I think he might be the most broken hero in the game. Just because you can't kill him, and he does a lot of damage once he gets reasonably farmed, so it's just...
Let's get it on.
It's one of those situations where, like, I don't know what to do against Gemini. I really don't, because basically what you have to do is lock him down for long enough that your entire team can burst him and kill him. Because he's not the tankiest hero in the game early on. The issue is the Elemental Force encourages him to stack stats so hard that many people get a Behemoth's Heart, and he farms pretty well, so he almost inevitably will get that. Behemoth's Heart, Shrunken Head, very common on carries, so if you put a Behe Heart and Shrunken Head on just about any hero, I'm not sure what combination of heroes is necessary to lock down that hero and kill him before his team can respond, but I'm not convinced that there is one. Especially when Gemini has an escape mechanism and has a way to wipe debuffs with that split, and will absorb a lot of damage if he splits up and then recombines, because you can basically either focus one dog and then he recombines and all your damage is gone, or focus both dogs and do a lot less damage because you're having to focus two targets instead of one. So I don't know how to deal with that hero. I think the only way I can try to do it is to just kill him a lot early on. As over here, Grinix is going to get caught out once again. Not going to die, but should take a bunch of damage. Red Ward goes down, but that Ward of Sight actually didn't go down, so Torture is going to go crazy. I might be looking for this Riftstock finally active, and he's just going to be like, alright, whatever. As he does have a ward, so he's certainly looking to place that Ward of Sight and block this camp. He's going to be off to the side, though, and they might see this. Hashtag SG strat. So, Grinix now going to get spotted out by his team once again, and the Rev Ward will, of course, help see him if he decides to Riftstock. Anyway, so I'm feeling a little concerned here for Legion. They have the Dark Lady, which is a very powerful carry themselves, but the lockdown on Hellborn is extremely powerful. They have stuns on every single one of those heroes. They have the Tempest ultimate for team fights. Kraken's just sitting here in the woods for reasons, as he did bring 3 trees and 1 pot, and he's going to pull this wave. And take a lot of damage as a result. A lot of damage. Rhapsody coming over here as well. Will have the Scotto stuns, obviously. And this is going to be a bit of an issue here with the Kraken. He's taking so much damage, really. So Legion lanes are pretty standard. Kraken actually is going to avoid the Twin Fangs, as Ganel did not line that up correctly, and if he had, that would have been a kill. But Kraken now more or less without health, as he does have a health pot and 2 trees left. Anyways, Legion choosing to run the Bubbles middle and the Kraken Suicide. I'm not a really huge fan of that decision, but Hellborn going crazy here. They've got the Grinnik Suicide, not surprising. Gemini's in the mid lane. I don't know why. And it looks like we're running a Pesty short with Rhapsody somewhere. Not really sure where she's going yet, but this is weird. I don't like it. This Gemini's taking a lot of damage really from this Bubbles. A little more harassment and Bubbles can actually go for a kill here. He's going to eat a tree, which will help, but at 250 damage, Bubbles is soon going to have the ability to kill this Gemini. He's going to actually go for it right now. A couple more auto attacks, not enough. But he's going to get control of his lane here, and Gemini's not going to be able to do too much about it, because there is no Rhapsody, who has chosen to babysit a Pestilence. This is just, like, I don't want to say stupid, but it is kind of stupid. I don't know why in the world you would run a Gemini solo mid, because if there's one thing that's bad about Gemini is that he is item dependent. If you don't get items on him, he will die relatively fast. And it's hard to kill him because he has an escape mechanism, but like that doesn't mean he'll be a factor. So basically you put a bunch of damage onto him, he runs away. So he's not a factor in the team, and that's good enough really. So even if you can't kill him, addressing him really is the important part, as Shellsurf actually going to miss. Bubbles has the bottle though, so able to do plenty, and he will mana pot and health pot up on Gemini's Rhapsody's coming mid, realizing that, yeah, we need to deal some with this Bubbles, because otherwise she's going to kill Gemini. It's Turtle. But Bubbles will kill Gemini here if he gets a chance. Shellsurf once again just continuously harassing the Gemini on bot. Will go for the haste rune. Up top, refreshment rune going to be grabbed by Rhapsody. Over here, Tempest looking for a gank onto Kraken. We'll see if he can actually find it. Not going to so much as he gets out of there. Pesty giving up the chase. On bot, Dark Lady trying to do something here to this Grinnik. Not going to happen. I don't think even with the Dark Blades there, Torturer just not able to land a stun. But for the most part, TDL having pretty easy free farm down here. And Torturer helping to zone Grinnik. Of course, Torturer one of the better zoning supports thanks to that Impalement. Gemini going to put some Twin Breath onto Bubbles, but still have the haste rune bottle, so we'll see what happens there. 4-minute rune going to spawn in a second. Tempest gets a refresh top. It is Illusion's bottom. And he will continue to harass, pop the haste, and run bot, chug his entire bottle. Grab the Illusions. Probably hit 6 and look for a kill here, as Gemini has more pooled regen. I think Rhapsody gave him a bunch. Going to continue to eat some trees here. But now is out of bottle charges. Bubble's still hasted. Looking to put some auto attacks in. And then hit 6 and kill this gem. Of course, no Bloodlust in quite yet. And continuously take Shellsurf damage. Now Gemini is out of regen. On bot, Grinnik's getting locked down here, but the Rift Stalk available, and he will be okay. Shadow Step back in onto TDL, but that's going to be a bad move, and that's going to be a Bloodlust as well. Using all of his mana there to lock down TDL for a little bit, not even getting him onto the tower, and Bubble's missing a Shellsurf there. A bit of an issue, but not the biggest problem. Illusion's sort of being wasted, not doing too much damage to that gem, but we'll get the regen back as a result. And he is now level 6. Bubbles with the Shellsurf there hitting him. And he does not... Does he have any bottle charges left? No. So, only has the Song of the Sea. Gonna split up here. And actually with a Kelp Field, this might be... Yeah, that's bad. Gonna bring the dog back. Just stopped. And there's a kill. So, I've been waiting for that for so long. Finally comes out. No surprise Gemini goes down to Bubbles middle because he just can't stand the burst damage. And the continuous harassment from that bottle and all the mana he gets back. 6-minute ring to spawn. Top. Tempest is guarding it. We'll see what he gets. Invis. That'll be fun. On bot will be a refreshment. Bubble's going to head top, but not going to find anything there. So I guess their ward ran out. And him realizing, maybe not the best. Refreshment taken by Torture will get himself some mana back. Over here, Grenix has a Ward of Rev. I guess thinking that for some reason that they saw him or that they have their own Ward of Rev, they do not. In fact, they have no invisibility detection. First stop coming out, he'll be fine. Up top, Kraken and Pestilence going at it still. Rhapsody's still babysitting this Pesty, which makes no sense to me. Tempest still with that invis, looking for a jump onto somebody. Has an Elemental Void available. But Bubbles now going to port back mid, so we'll see if Tempest goes for this. His invis has to be wearing out relatively soon. There's a Shell Surf in. 10 seconds left on that, and now Bubbles is dead. There's going to be the stuns, and here's the Elemental Void, and that's going to be death on Bubbles. So, a little too aggressive there with the just GPM Kazu. I don't know. Anyway, up top, going over the farm here. Arden at 150 gold per minute, not doing super well. 12-0. Pesty is 50-4. Has the highest CS in the game. On bot, actually, Swiddlemelons on Grenix picking off that Torture, but dying for it. And there goes a kill on Torture, but the Dark Blades there and the invis detection from TDL will get him killed, so that's not really worth it. As feeding a kill to that TDL, just not a great thing. Up top, stacked creeps been taken out. Pesty did go for the Alchemist Bones, so he's clearly going for a bit of a late game here, which is just weird. I don't understand why I feel like Grenix or Pesty deserves a short lane more than Gemini does. Or that Gemini, or why Gemini they think is a good mid hero, because he's not really. Sustainer be picked up there as Bubbles is initiating once again onto this Gemini. Will take the Kelpfield stun and get away with the Twin Fangs, but now he's in some trouble actually with Bubbles' Shell Surf being up in a couple of seconds. We'll go over the hill and try to avoid it here. Bubbles going to get vision of him though, actually going to completely whiff. So trying to kill him, but they do force him out of lane. Meanwhile, 8-minute rune spawn, top of refreshment, bottom is a double damage, so nobody looking to go bot quite yet, but Bubbles will be able to get some of his health and mana back as a result of grabbing that rune, then presumably go bottom. Shell Surf finish this off, and then go bottom and pick up the DD. So anyway, Pesty's farm is actually really good here, 420 gold per minute. He is second in the game to TDL thanks to the kills that she's gotten. But in terms of pure CS, doing very well. Meanwhile, on bot, Grenix is spotted out by this Ward of Sight. There's a Ward of Rev as well, going to walk right into it, and now he's going to get Tainted Soul, and he's in a lot of trouble. Chain reactions don't actually hit, but it's going to wear off soon, and that's going to be enough for a kill here. Just going to be... Oh god, there's a Shadow Step. Not going to matter, though. Arden up top on Kraken, meanwhile falls. As he drops the release of Kraken, trying to kill his Rhapsody. Not going to happen thanks to the dance floor. There's the Impalement, and Tempest going to come in here with the help. There's Staccatos too, and that will get finished off. Meanwhile, so there's the bottom kill on bot. 4-3 now advantage here for the Legion side as TDL's taking off and that gold per minute chart. Bot push going to get coming in here with Torturer's Impalement. And the DD on Bob's of course helping out. So that's the first tower kill. Up top also pressuring with Tempest Elementals. And they're going to keep going here. There's a Charging Strike on Grenix plus the Kelp Field. We'll see what he can do. Takes the Shell Surf damage as well and the Song of the Sea, so he's going to get revealed in a second, but not before the Kelp Field wears off. Top tower falls in favor of the Hellborn, so that's 1-for-1 hero kills. Ophelia finally coming in. And no mana there, but a Skeleton King net, and they're going to kill her with a nice Catman Stomp. And port will be cancelled as the chain reactions would have stunned whoever came in. This bot tower now also going to take quite a bit of damage from Ophelia, and the Impalement from Torture should be a bot tower kill in fact. And Legion will take a couple of kills and a couple of towers in a couple of minutes. So nicely pushed from them. Ophelia finally coming out of the jungle to do something. And 500 gold per minute here on this TDL, who is sitting at 64.5 CS compared to Grenix 8 TNO. So 142 GPM on the Grenix, not having a great time. Torture will get ported back. In middle, we have Bubbles at 42-6 compared to Gemini at 52-2. So Gemini actually doing pretty solid in the CS, where it's the death that's hurting him, as he is at 350 gold per minute, which is the second highest in this team, but being outflanked by both TDL by a lot and by Bubbles by a little. So gold lead here for the Legion side, experience lead for the Hellborn, and we'll see how they turn this, trying to win. Seems like Hellborn need to open some space for the Gemini. They will be stacking Ancients here, as he just needs money. And I'm surprised that they're not going to both attempt to do some heavy pushing and ward the crap out of the map, so Gemini can just have the jungle while Tempest and Rhapsody take some towers and get him some more GPM that way. Well, we're going to defend a mid-tower push. This is below half, though, so they could certainly do something about that. Hellborn Tower not even close to low. So I'd like to see some more activity from this Tempest. Coming out and pushing towers. Bot towers, or top tower, mid tower is definitely vulnerable. Bot tower is not vulnerable, completely full health. But they need to respond to the tower aggression that's come out from the Legion side. Ophelia now has some creeps, looking to do something in middle. So creep wave will get bursted down here by Bubbles and the general push. As on bot, once again, TDL getting a pick. This time on the Rhapsody. Impalement there as well as the Ophelia minions. Doing plenty of damage to this mid tower. Tempest Elemental is trying to help push it out. Off to the side, TDL continuing to farm bottom. And totally fine, of course, has her Rune Cleaver at this point. And there's the last broadsword. So 12.5 minute Rune Cleaver very early. And she's already sitting at 500 gold per minute, of course. That will just continue to increase. A little disappointing there are no stacks here. Ancient's not stacked. None of the creeps in the jungle are stacked. Not that surprising considering they had an Ophelia in their jungle. So you wouldn't necessarily expect that to happen. I think the Ancients being stacked is a little more important. And now that she has her cleave, maybe they will start to be stacked. Try and take out these creep wave before the next spawn. I think that might have been, yeah, it might have stopped it, but they will get the Minotaur over here. Ophelia now, yeah, going to sacrifice that Catman, take a second Minotaur, so has the ideal Skeleton King 2 Minotaur combination. We'll have lots and lots of lockdown because of that. Skeleton King net stun, Minotaur Stomp is something like 5 seconds of stun. Actually, TDL finding this Grinix over here. Dark Blades are enough to prevent him from being able to Rift Stalk, and he dies. Just way too much damage there. Once again, Ophelia in the bottom lane looking to push as TDL is pushed way up. And doesn't seem to care too much as Hellborn aren't really doing anything about it. So Legion perhaps looking for yet another mid push there. Actually, Impale stun from Pesty way early, and Bubbles ports in for some reason. Elemental is going to try to stop this. Ballista, of course, will continue to do damage. Tempest is being used for anti-push more than anything. Hellborn H is going to get cleaned up here. I believe they were double stacked. And I think Ophelia at this point can probably vulture this tower. It is low enough, so with no Hellborn heroes here, we'll instead just push it straight out from mid and shouldn't take very long. They're putting a lot of resources into defending this middle tower, and it's just going to fall. Like, it's certainly a valuable asset to have, so I see why they want to make sure that Legion Dose is going to get for free as Impel stun from Pesty. He's getting locked down a little bit. Twin Fangs coming in onto just the Minotaurs, though. And they will be okay. Chain Reaction is going to get hit, and Glacial Blast will result in 1 Minotaur death. So Ophelia going to go over to look for another creep. There's another Minotaur right here, so... Haha, that was lucky. On bot, TDL getting chased down here, has the Charging Strikes away, and that will not result in Pesty chasing, of course, not having the mana to blink and impale. Actually, not even the impale, much less the both of them. DD Bubbles. So they're pretty lucky. Okay, so this is going to be a mid-tower death. Off to the side, Kelpfield initiation, and the release of Kraken get dropped, but that's not going to hit anybody. Tempest is going to drop his ultimate, but immediately stop. There he goes. Gemini going to jump away with the Twin Fangs and will be okay. Pestilence jumps in with a stun, but just walks out of there, so That's going to be one kill, and now perhaps a second kill, as off to the side, Rhapsody getting hit a lot by this Bubbles. We'll take the Scottish stuns. And the ultimate from Grenex. Gets the Shadow Step, but doesn't actually stun. Bubbles not taking much damage, will drop. Rhapsody's ultimate off the side is cracking, shaking people down. Easy kill there on the Grenex, though, as they lock him down. So, mid-tower now going to be pressured. Impel stun onto a bunch there, as Pesty just leaves. Port coming in now. Gemini hits nothing with a stun, takes a lot of damage. We'll get a little lockdown here, I think. It pops the Energizer, and now Ophelia's in some trouble. Pesty chasing her. 1 Minotaur stomp. Twin splits up into the dogs, and they're actually not going to chase. Well, dogs are chasing a little bit, but they're not going to catch her at least. Illusion Rune on bottom will be picked up by Kraken. So a bit of a dive there from Legion, but they get a couple of kills out of it. They kill a mid-tower, they do some damage to the secondary mid-tower, and they've got a pretty solid golden experience lead here. Most importantly, 540 gold per minute on TDL, and that will just continue. It might even get higher because of that cleave. So she has finished cleave, she's got an Abyssal Skull and Ghost Marchers at 17 minutes, already doing pretty well. And camp being stacked there for her. Over on the side, Kraken Illusions being killed by Gemini. Up in mid, real Kraken getting locked down by Pesty and Rap. Chain reactions completely whiff. On the top, Grinix and Bubbles going off. But they will both get away and evade each other. Actually, Kelfield going out will take the Kelfield stun, but a Port coming in for some support. And Grinix will be alright with the Rift Stock, as Bubbles has the portal key and jumps away. So Ophelia going for traditional support items, Plate of Greaves, Astrolabe, and Ring of Sorcery. So she's a strong pusher. Pesty continuing to use the Alchemist Bones to get some CS, and Ophelia looking to jump somebody over here. Rhapsody going to get found. There's the Skeleton King Net and the 1 Minotaur Stomp. And the 2 Minotaur Stomps. Rhapsody taking so much damage. Will drop as Bubbles jumps in. And now Grinix off to the side, also going to drop, thanks to the silence from Bubbles' Song of the Sea. Tempest getting locked down a little bit, but he will be okay as the Glacial Blaster on Torturer. And now he's dead as TDL comes in for the back. So 3 for nothing there. They're going to turn this into a top tower push, and should be a relatively easy kill. There's the Impalement as well. No question this is going to be a dead top tower. Possibly continue to go for more. I think somebody bought... No, we bought back. They just respawned. I thought that was 3 kills. Yeah, Rhapsody was the third one, so she's just too low a level. She's only level 6. So secondary tower push coming out here from Legion as they clean the creeps immediately thanks to charge duration from TDL. Pesty hits the stun onto 2. They are going to lose this tower. Newish Busting come out, and Grinix is looking for a jump onto somebody, but Kraken put the Torrent down into Rhapsody, and a slow, easy kill on Rap. Off to the side, complete miss by Gemini. And now he's in some trouble, getting locked down by this Ophelia and TDL. Once again, Pesty stomp onto 3. And that's the CC vote from Melbourne. They are pretty far down at this point, but... yeah, I guess with the... as the GG's called, as Kraken's getting pushed in, will die. Maybe? Nope. Charges out. Glacial Blast is not enough. They'll get ported back now by Ophelia, and the Legion are going to back up. Fake CC? Fake CC. I think it's going to be... it's possible, but difficult. That's the last center tower here. Gets dropped in favor of Legion. Hellborn have taken precisely 1 tower.
No woman should go without it.
Bot Rune will be bottled up there by Bubbles, I think. He got a haste. Apparently, Grinix can't play with pain. Jump there by Hellborn onto Bubbles. He's in a lot of trouble. We'll get knocked down and killed. Grinix complaining about ping issues. TL apparently thinking highly of himself. Grinix and Kraken jumping off in the middle lane. Pesty's not actually going to miss. Shadowstep doesn't, but there's a lockdown from Ophelia, and now Grinix is going to fall. So will Pesty. Just too much stuns from Ophelia. Even with just the 1 Minotaur, it's a lot. Courier going to spot out Torture here. They don't really do anything about it, though. Chain reaction of the trees trying to see it. $630 gold per minute for Dark Lady. She has the Frostburn now, probably going for the Dawnbringer. And we'll have that in less than 1,000 gold. Kongor going to be attempted in the meantime, because why the hell not? Should be a pretty damn easy kill with all this lockdown from Oath and just the massive amount of damage from TDL. Drops the hatchet in anticipation of a token. So fake CC. There goes Kongor, and there's a token on TDL, and I think at this point they could probably just end the game. Jump there by Pesty, just hits the TDL though, and they're going to try to lock her down. Tempest ultimate on Uncaught does get cancelled just about immediately. Rhapsody ultimate trying to save the team now as TDL's like, whatever. Jump in from Gemini, and there goes the token, but immediately following is Tempest as well. And token bringing her right back up. Kraken actually dies in the background. Bubbles finally showing up. There's the dance floor as well. TDL taking a lot of damage here. Will die. Trying to kill the Hellborn team and aren't succeeding. Gemini finishes off Bubbles. That's 3 for 1. Including the carry. So, very nice fight back from Hellborn. As they kill the token, they kill TDL on top of that and pick off Bubbles and Kraken. Still a little too early on the push maybe for Legion. I think the Dawnbringer is finished by TDL. So, I mean, they're firmly in control of this game at this point. 14k gold up, 10k experience up, and 600 gold per minute here on this TDL. Gemini's still at 377, which is decent enough farm. It's not the greatest. And the Pesty at 350 is also not the best, but especially considering the Alchemist bones. But there's something there. Tempest at 230 is more of a problem, really. I think he needs a portal key at this point because there's just so much damn lockdown on him. He can't get a Tempest ultimate off by walking into it. He needs to be able to jump the opposing team and get lucky, really. And then the Hellborn have to follow that up with a lot of damage, which I'm not sure they have at this point. TDL picking up the Warhammer, in fact, not finishing the Dawnbringer, feeling like she's a shrunken head, and I cannot disagree with that. Plenty of stuns coming out from Hellborn that will be stopped by that. Off to the side, Kraken getting locked down by 3 heroes here. Staccato Sun's going to help finish him off, and the dance floor will charge that dog away, but I don't think it's going to matter. As he does fall on bot. Nice pickup there from that Gemini. TDL hunting the Hellborn Woods. Just going to take some cramps out here, but might find this Tempest. And Grinix and TDL will spot each other out. There's a jump and one from Pesty. Now he's taking a lot of damage. Charging strikes away, plus the Numerous Blessing, so he'll be okay. Kelfield on it too. And the chain reactions. Dark Lady ultimate going off onto them. There goes Grinix right off the bat. And then a pick onto Pesty as well. So they try to get TDL. They aren't quite able to burst him down, and as a result, the entire Legion team collapses and kills them. Of course, the Abyssal Skull on TDL means that she's getting all of her health back relatively fast. As well, so they might turn this into a push. We'll see. Only 20 seconds in the respawn timer from both Grinix and Pesty, so not too much of an opportunity. I don't think they have racks here, but nope, not even going up for a tower. And I can't really fault that decision. Last time it didn't go so well, and this time they have even less on their side as Kraken was coming back, and Bubbles was deciding just, I'll go bottom. Once again, only 1 tier tower killed for this Hellborn side. They've gotten both of them down to below half, but they need to start taking some towers, man. Bubbles continuing to farm pretty well, 380 gold per minute, so is Ophelia. Kraken up to 290, 240 on Torture, so everybody on the Legion side farming pretty well. And only Pesty and Gemini are farming pretty well on the Hellborn. So Legion continue to expand their resource advantage, not a surprise considering they have that TDL with the Rune Cleaver farming very well. They have map control, they've got wards pretty much everywhere. Hellborn's wards are defensive and confined to just this one in their own jungle and the one in the middle lane. Oh, one bot as well. So they got 3 wards up, but not that much map coverage, especially in the middle and of the rivers, so it's going to be difficult for them to be able to move around. Highly defensive warding here. And of course, no tower support means that if you get caught out somewhere, the team is not going to be able to get to you in time. Ancient's being done here by Gemini. Trying to finish them off before anything bad happens and not really feeling safe. I can understand that as the entire Legion team is over here. Regen Rune will be bottled by Bubbles. So Gemini not even having vision, but feeling like this is not a great place to be. Puts the Twin Breath down. Will get a Dragon Master kill. TDL will find him now off to the side. And trying to get the kill. Kelphill now onto 2. They're going to try to lock him down. Truck and Head activated by Gemini. Will split up, actually, so they're just sort of wasting it. Bubbles now in some trouble. Rhapsody ultimate saving a lot of damage, but Tempest ult catching everything. And there's no damage. Skrinix died, and Bubbles is just covered for the whole time. The entire Hellborn team is dead except for Rhapsody. That was a beautiful Tempest ultimate, exactly what he needed to do, and there wasn't any damage. Just no damage follow-up whatsoever. So interesting by Gemini, popping the Shrunken and then splitting up, so I don't think either of the dogs get the magic immunity if he does that. So it was pretty badly wasted there. There goes the tower, and Rax are going to be here. Probably mid-Rax as well. They're just going to rotate immediately, take down his tower in about half a second, and kill the Rax as well. So if it wasn't GG's before, and there it is. So Legion in MIM will take this series 2-1 over Tang Zhang Pang, getting knocked out in this round of 32. So well done to them. Good luck in the future. Strong showing here. And really all these games by both teams, as it was a well-fought series, but a little too much here for Tang Zhang Pang to handle. They will get knocked out, and the victory goes to MIM.